Ambassador Sondland had flown back from Brussels and was eager to appear. Agreement for the deposition had been reached with the State Department. But then at midnight, a voicemail was left on Sondland's lawyer's phone saying the Trump administration would not allow him to give evidence.
The failure to produce this witness, the failure to produce these documents, we consider yet additional strong evidence of obstruction of the constitutional functions of Congress, a co-equal branch of government.
Republican committee members all backed the White House move.
What we see in this impeachment is a kangaroo court, and Chairman Schiff is acting like a malicious Captain Kangaroo.
There was no pressure whatsoever.
Coincidentally or not, a phrase very similar to that used by the president an hour earlier. Unfortunately, he would be testifying before a totally compromised kangaroo court, tweeted President Trump, where Republicans' rights have been taken away and true facts are not allowed out for the public to see. Republican members of the House committees insist Democrats have been selective in what evidence to make public, particularly of that provided last week by U.S. Representative to Ukraine, Kurt Volker, which made clear U.S. diplomats had been discussing the preconditions for a meeting between President Trump and his Ukraine counterpart.
This has to be a fair process. And when you have a press release being drafted by our Democrat colleagues, cherry-picking text messages, when the full text of Ambassador Volker's testimony last week would have exonerated this president, let's release it.
Ambassador Sondland was mentioned repeatedly in the testimony made public, his text and emails indicating he was in direct communication with the White House throughout the discussions about Ukraine. His evidence is regarded as critical in terms of understanding the motive behind the Trump administration's engagement with the president of Ukraine. And the House committees are insistent he must testify. A formal subpoena has now been issued, calling on Ambassador Sondland to appear with all his documents. Hanna, Al Jazeera, Washington.